short one. And we're live. And we're live. Episode 12. What the hell?
Holy shot.
Holy shots. A couple of things we have to get through today.
So
I was going through things that I've spent money on. So I got accessories for my laptop. About 4 years ago, maybe it was longer, maybe it's 5. I got him, I think, in Phoenix. So 5-6 years ago, I think, and I have a hazy memory, and this is going to sound so stupid that it's obviously coming from me. It is, I think I first saw it on Shark Tank, this belt.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so that's all you bought. That's all you had.
Yes. So no, I think I saw it on Shark Tank. I thought, wow, that's a really cool idea for a belt. And then, so I didn't do anything then, but then I think I went on to the website after I saw the episode and I ordered one, and it was a life-changing belt. And then after about like 8 months to a year, the belt started kind of falling apart because I would use it every day. And even though it's leather, there are sections that just start breaking. And so I think I've ordered belts 3 times over the last 6 years or so. And I went to go use a belt the other day, and I looked at the condition, and it looks like a homeless man's belt. So I thought, shit, I need to do that.
And I thought you were going to say it broke.
No. And so I happened to look at my email, and I happened to get an email from them for Cyber Monday saying 30% off. So I ordered 2 more belts, which they're normally $35 for the belt. So instead of $70 plus shipping, it was like $48 plus shipping. Yes.
I had to do my door duties.
No worries. And
so wait, do you have them with you?
I have the old broken one here.
So wait, is it like adjustable? Is that what it is?
Yeah. So a normal belt, you have a little buckle, but then it has like that little stem that you have to put through the hole.
Right.
This, as you can see, it's breaking apart because it's fucking gross.
It's fighting for its life.
But it's got, on the inside, it has these little notches. On the outside, it's a normal belt. And what happens is when you put it through here, you hear...
Oh, it's like those plastic.
It's a ratchet. Yeah, it's basically a handcuff for your waist. And then there's a little button here that you hit to release it. But that way... You don't have to be perfectly... What if you're in between 2 holes? You don't have to make a 3rd hole. Holes don't wear out or get stretched.
What if you're in between 2 holes?
Yeah. So that's what it is. So it's a leather belt that has this plastic insert sewn into it. The problem is at the... motherfuck. The end of the plastic insert is where the weak part is at, because that's where the bend is. And then it's like about to fall apart. So that happens over a few years. So
have you given them feedback on that maybe they can reinforce that area?
I'm still going to be a customer for life. I don't care. So
can I show you something real quick?
A black one. Yeah. That is absolutely amazing.
Aren't they cute?
I'm totally going to put one on my laptop. It'll probably go over the Apple logo. Or in the corner. But it's definitely going to be on there.
I might have to cut
here's the thing. If there's
tons everywhere.
You know how you and Jen you had bobbleheads made of Ray and Brian, and then when you went on vacation, you would take pictures of them in different places? If I could get like a plushie of the crossfaded emojis, I would totally order it. So when I travel around the world, I'd put you on top of the Eiffel Tower or the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I would put you in different places, like next to a waterfall. I would totally do that. Yeah. That would be totally cool. But I don't want to do a bobblehead.
That would be awesome.
But if there was like a little, you know how they have those like little stuffed animals like a plushie? If they make an emoji plushie,
yeah.
I would totally order one, and then I could like mush it in. I mean, it would take no room in a suitcase, and I'd totally do it.
They do them with pets. I don't see why they couldn't with like a caricature.
Yeah, caricature. I'm sure if I looked on Etsy, there's someone out there. Hey,
probably.
If the one person that watches this happens to be crafty or knows something, let us know.
I want a doll made of
Yeah. That would be
and
cool. Yes.
Also, look at this.
Oh my. For cold and hot beverages?
This is just for cold, but I'm going to get one for the hot.
I have a question. You seem to have a black flat circle surface that's plain on the front of that. Would that be sticker size?
Actually, yeah, but then it would get wet.
Okay.
But that would be awesome.
Well, I was just thinking like you could put the crossfaded sticker is round, and I thought if it fits inside that circle, that'd be kind of cool. But I didn't see it already had
we'd have to get it
made.
On.
I thought it was a blank black thing. I didn't know it was Starbucks.
Like a window of what's inside.
Yeah, exactly.
A Starbucks window. My sister is nuts over these too, and so like I sent a picture just like with the cup. She's like, "I'm rocking that bitch today too."
And how do you? What's your review of it? What's your review? Is it good? Okay. 10 out of 10?
It's amazing. How could it? I love it very so sparkly. Much. Even the straws, like.
Oh, it's a bling straw. They had one
like clear, I guess.
Yeah, yes, but that's it is. They for basic people. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one was like high up, and I asked someone to get it, but I love it. And my sister's on the hunt for another one that I guess I saw yesterday, but she says they're nowhere in Arizona, and they're online for like $60 on eBay, I guess, because they're sold out.
Jesus.
So
that's ridiculous.
I know, right? It's a cup. But their holiday ones this year are really cute. So I may or may not buy a few.
But they're satanic though, so you have to kind of watch out for that.
Why?
I'm looking at my emails because...
The mermaid?
No, I'm looking at my emails because I am looking at what I've bought recently.
Oh, you know what I bought? For not Cyber Monday, it was Black Friday. I got a motherfucking Theragun Pro.
Okay,
have you seen those?
I saw that on your Twitter, or was it... Okay.
It was on my Instagram.
And I didn't know what the fuck. At first, I thought it said the Ray Gun Pro. And I thought, oh, that's kind of funny. Maybe you saw that in the store because of Ray, like the Ray Gun.
She's going to kill him. Yeah.
Right. But then I realized there was no Y, and it was the Ray Gun. Yeah.
It is so good. Like when I go for massages, I get like this sports massage. Like I come out bruised. Like they have to hurt me. That thing, I totally have bruised myself already. But like it's beating like all these knots that you could feel it, like release. And like I've been using it the past couple nights. And like when I'm doing yoga, I have more range. So it is like opening up tightness that I can't get to, and like it's adjustable, so you can go like all over.
Nice.
But I was in the shower. I saw my legs are all bruised.
So it's like a vibrating punching bag thing, as it goes, or is okay, gotcha.
It is.
So it's like a midget. You hired an electronic midget punching you.
It's like
electronic midget. Yeah, a strong midget just punching you
Strong
constantly.
cordless midget.
Oh, that's great.
He's just like, and yeah, like it beats the shit out of you. But like, have you ever like heard of like when they do the scraping like for physical therapy or whatever? It's like a metal or jade, and they put like whatever the massage was, and they like kind of scrape
They
the
align your
muscles, and
chakra.
it
No.
leaves you all like, well,
I
you
know
come out
cupping
looking
and I
all
know
fucked up,
I
but
know
it's
the
like,
tens machine and I know cupping, but I've never heard of a jade stone pushing your blood around or you're aligning your
it's
chakra or
no,
whatever.
no, no. It's the like a knot. Like if you have a muscle knot, you kind of like scrape it, and it kind of like
Releases
smooths it out. But in doing
releases
so,
the
like
grease. Yeah.
you get all these like welts because I guess the broken blood vessel of the tight
Oh
muscle, and
God.
it doesn't hurt, but it looks like you've been hit by a truck. I remember I was like, okay, Ray, this looks way worse than what it is. Because it doesn't hurt. I took it off. It was like purple welts. He's like, what the fuck happened to you?
You paid someone to beat
Um,
the shit out of you? Yeah.
I did, and now I have
Uh,
my own cordless
Now you have
midget.
your own beat the shit out of you
Mm, mm,
device.
mm. So I could choose where
And
I
you can
want to
beat
be
up Ray
beaten.
too if you wanted to.
Oh, I tried it with him. I was like, "Oh my God, you have to try this. It's so cool." He was like, "Ah, how do you let? That's hard. It hurts." I'm like, so bad. So it's
So
just
when he's
fine, I
sleeping, you
guess.
could beat the shit out of him. Yeah.
Oh, oh my God, I bet you that would. Ooh, a nice black eye.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. That's your wake up, wake up, wake up. I'll put the
Nice.
softest like little adapter on, but it'll still leave a
Yeah.
mark.
A soft welt, a soft eye. Um,
Just like
and
for
then
Christmas.
the other thing I ordered was, now this is, I'm going to say this, so don't feel obligated for anything. I just saw something and it had your name on it, not literally, and I thought, oh my God. And so it's a 3-part present for you for Christmas. It's three little small things.
A trilogy.
Yeah, it's the trilogy. It is amazing. 2 of them are awesome. One of them is next level, and they're all very small, inexpensive things, but it's amazing. So, 2 of them are being shipped. I got the
Those are the
tracking on
kind of
them,
gifts I love.
yeah, and then one is priceless, absolutely priceless. And then when I looked to check the price, I'm like, oh my God,
The
it's way
best.
less expensive than I thought. And I was like, this is perfect. So, um,
They're
so I'm
giving it
bringing it.
away.
I'm bringing it up to Connecticut, and then we can do it then, because
I know.
yeah,
That's what,
it's
two
pretty
weeks
amazing.
away?
Less, well,
That'll be fun.
we'll be at the place in literally two
Into,
weeks in a half hour.
I'm
2 weeks
already
and 1 hour. 2 weeks and 1 hour
mentally
or less. Yeah.
making lists of stuff I want to bring. Like, I can't forget to pack those mugs. I can't, like, the stupid, my cat ears.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm checking my carry-on bag, my hard case, normally it's a carry-on, I just throw it in. And the reason I got that is so when I travel, I never have to check a bag, because if things get lost, I'm fucked. So,
Right.
and I don't like having to deal with checking and then waiting at the thing. So, but I found out it is illegal to bring alcohol on a carry-on, but it's 100% legal to put it in your checked bag. So I'm bringing
Same
a
with a
couple
gun, no?
bottles. Huh?
Isn't
I'm
that the
bringing,
same with a gun? Like
yeah, but I
you could
think you have
pack
to
it,
let
but
them
you
know
can't
you have a
carry it.
gun in the, yeah, I think you have to let them know there's a firearm if you check it. If
I would tell
it's a
them.
checked bag, you don't have to tell them that there's alcohol. They don't care. Um, so I'm bringing
Awesome.
a
So
couple
you're bringing
bottles
your
of the
Dark
Dark
Lords.
Lord. Yeah, a couple bottles of Dark Lord. I'm bringing
Awesome.
the uber fancy version, and then I'm bringing a bottle or two of the normal Dark Lord. Normal Dark Lord is beer that is black like motor oil, which sounds gross, but just hear me out. And you don't drink it cold. You drink it at about 60 degrees, like a little cooler than room temperature. Um, that's when the flavors are best.
60.
And it is the flavors are coffee, chocolate, and caramel. That's what it
All
tastes
the
like.
best.
It's thick, and it's way alcoholic. And even though you don't normally like beer, I think you would actually really enjoy it. Then I got a rare variant of it, which is the coffee chocolate caramel. But they also added a couple other flavors in. They added in strawberry and vanilla and marshmallow, and they added those into it as well. And
Wow.
that's like a $300 bottle. So I'm gonna
A
bring
very
that, and we're gonna
decadent
pop. Yeah,
beer.
very decadent. So we'll crack that open during a live show or
W-
something and
w-
get fucked
When do
up.
you get the address so we can like get stuff sent there?
As we get closer, he'll give us an address. I guess for reasons he doesn't want to let
Cancellation.
it too early. Well, and then like they don't want you staking out the place or going beforehand with the codes and stuff. But I within a week, I'm sure by next Monday I'll have it. He did. He's been really good. Like after I called him, he sent me an email saying it was very nice talking to you on the phone. It was a very pleasant conversation, and I can't wait for you to enjoy our lovely home. Yeah, it is.
You're like, whatever. I got an early ticket. It
Like, yeah.
worked.
By the way, I fooled you, and we're evil people, but at least we can check in really early. So I'm sure we'll
Like
be
these
checked
guys.
in by noon at the latest. Because if we get the car by 8 and we get everything loaded up by like 9:30 or 10, we're gone at the latest. And then
I was gonna
it only takes two and
yesterday
a
when I
half
was
hours, so we'll
walking.
be there by noon. Yeah.
The only issue we'll ever face is just getting out of the city, but I don't think it should be bad. But let's see. Let me
Depending
see
on
if
the
I could
weather,
show this. See
that's not bad.
over here, that
Oh, yeah.
corner, that's where the car rental is. Okay. So,
Oh, that's not bad.
and then that's the back of my street.
Oh, okay.
So it's like it's literally there. So I'll get it the second I drive out. I'll be there in 30 seconds. 60
Um,
maybe if I want to stop at a light.
this is what I saw when I looked out my window when I was grabbing coffee this morning.
Today?
This morning.
Where do you
Yeah.
live?
Apparently the North Pole. Um,
Oh,
so last
oh my
night
God.
from 1
I
a.m.
didn't know
and
you
it's
lived in an igloo. Shit.
yeah, and it hasn't stopped. It started at like 1 a.m. last night, and it's constantly now. It's not downpouring, but it's a constant flurry of snowflakes just coming down, and it won't stop until Wednesday at 4 a.m. So I think we're getting like 5 inches.
Oh,
It's because there was a storm that passed over
wow.
Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio. But then I guess it goes up through western Pennsylvania and goes up into like upstate New York, like Buffalo, and then goes off. So it probably won't hit you guys, but you'll get like a cold front. So you guys are going to be like in the 30s, I'm sure, if you're not already, in the next
Snow
day or
sucks,
so.
but one of the benefits to living in the city is like we don't have to worry about it. Like our
Yeah,
sidewalks get
it
taken
melts.
care of.
Yeah, the streets and
It-
sidewalks.
no, but the plows are here. Like they park
Yeah.
in Battery Park, and like we're the first ones out. That are fine. I've never been affected by it,
Well,
so
everywhere I
I
lived
would hate to have
here
to.
has been in an apartment complex, and it's always been next to major roads, and it's all the parking lots and the roads have all been. And I'm in the suburbs, so they give priority to people with money apparently. So they
The city
the
dwellers,
roads
we go
the roads,
first.
and I never take freeways because everything here is
You
just side
lost
roads.
woods people have to wait, right?
Yeah, so I've never had to deal with like snow like on a heavy road or heavy snow on a road. But now I live in a residential area temporarily, and I don't know how hard it's going to be. Like The good news is right now the temperature is only like 30, I think, so it's not too crazy. 28 right now, um, but when it gets into like the January and stuff, it'll be like 5 degrees, 0 degrees, and in a few days,
Ew.
and
Ew.
it gets really shitty to drive. So I'm not driving today because of this. And then by Wednesday afternoon, it's going to be like 38 and it should start melting. So, yeah, pain in the ass.
So,
It looks
um,
pretty, but actually
yes.
traversing in it sucks butt.
It's pretty for like a second, like when it's first fallen, and then after that, it goes straight to hell.
Yeah, the one thing I do like, and you probably don't see it as much in the city, but when you get snow like this and you walk outside, it's completely fucking silent because all the sound gets absorbed by the snow. So you don't hear road noise, you don't hear anything. It's
Yeah.
just really, really, really quiet. And then you see the white and it looks pretty. And it's like, ah. And then you realize, oh, I have to go to the
And
store.
then
And then you
you're
have to get the
horrified because
fucking
it's silent.
brush. Yeah, then you have to use the big fucking brush and the scraper to get the shit off your car because it's illegal to drive with snow on your car because when you drive and it flies off and hits the people behind you. So you have to
Oh, it
brush
could
and
slide
scrape all
back.
the. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
So you have to brush and scrape everything off, and you're freezing this entire time. And then you get inside, and then you turn on the seat heater and the warm button and all that shit. And you got to sit there for like 10 minutes until you're not frozen, and then you can go. It's a pain in the
Is it?
ass.
It's funny though because I don't know if it's just city dwelling, but like when it's like silent and quiet out, I'm like that's what I'm horrified the most because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just like
yeah.
I
Silent in New
went
York
to our
City
friend.
means you're about to die. Yeah.
Something's happening really bad. We went to our friend's house in Pennsylvania, and she's like out in the woods, and like
Yeah.
it was nighttime, and we were getting ready like to go to sleep, and I was just like, it's so weird.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't
so
hear
quiet I
anything.
can't sleep. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. So, and it's true because like the noises here, like I'm totally immune to, like garbage trucks and all that shit. That doesn't even phase me. Like people
Yeah,
getting
police
shot,
sirens.
whatever.
Yeah. It's like your white
Silence, I'll
noise.
lose.
It's like a white noise machine or
Yes,
like a fan. Like
it's
people can't sleep without
comforting.
a fan. Yeah.
Right. I need the chaos and terror in my,
And you're like,
to keep
that's
me
better.
at, ah, bring me back to Zen. Go.
You know they
But
have
yeah, so that's
those
how I
little
roll.
you know that they have those little speakers or machines that you put on your nightstand and it has either like white noise it can play or it can have oceans or thunderstorms. They should have one for people who've left New York City that's just like screams, gunshots,
I'm like, I
sirens, and
can't sleep.
traffic.
It's too quiet.
And then you press play and you're like, okay, I'm home.
Uh, doctor, I'm suffering from insomnia. I just left the city and I'm in the country now and I can't sleep.
I
That
get
would
that.
totally be a problem of mine. Um, okay, wait. So before I forget, because we skipped yesterday, we're a little off
Yeah,
schedule. I wanted to talk to you about the finale of
absolutely. That's where I was
The
going to go next.
Undoing.
So I had
So if
mentioned,
I could pick one word to
yeah,
describe this finale before,
uh huh.
I would say lackluster.
Really, I got that from. So I saw it Sunday night around. I'd say around a half hour after it started, like around 9:30, 10 o'clock is when I actually watched it.
Hmm.
I think I got done around 10:45, so it was probably like 9:45 when I started. Last night, my niece and her husband watched it downstairs, and she really liked it. He thought it was a lackluster ending too. I thought it was good. Now,
I'll tell you
I
why.
what okay, because I'll tell you what I thought. I thought real quick. I at the end of episode 5, the person I had called being the one turned out that that's who they implied who did it. Now, my biggest concern was if I was running the show, I would not reveal the true ending until the last episode. So why would they do it at the second to last episode? Which made me think that this is really not the person. But I was like, that's who I called. I'll stick with it. But if I was making this show, I wouldn't. I would do the final twist in the last episode. And then I'm like, but who else could it be? I was like, who else could it be? And I was like, it's the two sons that are which of the two sons is it? And then I thought, and I think I mentioned this to you. I'm like, the only other thing that would be a twist to me is that in the end of it all, it turns out just to be the original guy, and that would be kind of like the twist. And I had said that there was
because they had to think of everybody,
right? Because there was a movie with Ed Norton and Anthony Hopkins. I think it was called Primal Fear. I think that's the movie I'm thinking of, or it was about a lawyer that was trying to get someone on death row off because the lawyer thought he was innocent. The guy was innocent. And this entire movie was based on a person wrongfully being like convicted of murder and going on death row. And, you know, at the end, they let him out because he's found innocent. They overturn everything and it's all happy. And it turns out he was the real killer. And he ended up starting on another murdering spree.
I saw that.
Like, oh, so that was in the back of my mind is like, that's the only other thing that would shock me would be that if it all turns out just to be the original guy to begin with. And I think I had mentioned that to you because I know I mentioned it to my niece, but I'm like, but I'm still going to fix on I'll say it's the kid. And then they, right off the bat, within the first 5 minutes of the episode, you realize it's not the kid. And I was like, fuck. Because this is what I thought. I thought, okay, if it's not the kid, my next thought was it's the mom. Like it all happened within like a 5-10 minute span. Oh, it's not the kid? Wait a minute. It was found at the house. Maybe it is the mom because the mom was the only one that had walked by there. And we know that would be a big spin. And I'm like, wait, it's the house of the grandfather. The grandfather hates him and has never given him any leeway. So maybe it's the grandfather. And then I was just like, I don't fucking know. I'm just going to watch. And then as it starts unfolding, I was like, oh. And then my big fear was he's going to kill the kid because he was so mad at the wife.
Okay. That's where it should have been like a shocking ending. It totally disappointed me. Only like the last couple.
You thought there needed to be more death at the end.
I did, because he's sociopathic. He has no empathy, and to get back at his wife, the biggest thing he could ever do would be kill the kid. And I thought he was going to jump and take him with him or hit that truck. And I'm like, yeah, that'll be a good way. Show her, fuck that. And then he ends up like smirking at her while he's standing on this bridge, and then he comes down like, fucking pussy. Whatever.
Well, yeah. So when he was going into oncoming traffic, I didn't think that was going to be it. When the train track thing happened, I didn't think it. I was like, I don't think that's going to be it, although it could. And I thought
really wish it was
about the bridge. I thought he was going to drive the SUV off the bridge. That's what I thought was going to happen, is that he's talking about the bridge is coming up. He's going to just like throw it over and just go off the edge. Because I thought the exact same thing. My wife just fucked me in the one way, like if you ruin my life, this is how I take everything away from you.
Yeah, she doesn't care. Right. She doesn't care if my life's ruined, but and then she'll be hurt if I kill this kid.
When he stops and he gets out and he goes on top, I thought, oh, he's going to grab the kid and they're both going to jump, but he wants to do it in front of her.
Because they were holding hands.
Yeah. And at first the kid's like, no, stop. And then he reached back to the kid. And I'm like, oh, he's going to jump and drag the kid. Because I thought he'd want to do it in front of her. Like, you need to watch this, bitch.
Right.
And then when
this is your fault.
When the mom comes up and he's a little shocked and she grabs him, she stands there. And I'm like, fucking run. That's why are you still standing there? Like, where? And she's like, okay, honey, go. And he's like a foot away. I'm like, why doesn't he take all of you and just go? And then the police jump out and I'm like, oh, okay. I do feel that the suspense was enough to be satisfying for me.
He still steps
it didn't
down.
have to be a death.
After they take the kid away, he should have jumped.
That's just it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I thought that at least when they pan out is they're running back and they see him doing this and then the police coming in with the guns. I thought as it fades to black you would hear gunshots. Oh, I thought you would hear
Or
gunshots.
I
Yeah.
want him to. So the fact that they didn't, it's like, all right, so he's arrested and goes back to jail. He didn't get any sort of vengeance by being out with the kid. Like, what was the point of that? Because when she screamed his name and he looked over at her, is that like what stopped him? Because she's like, look
Well,
at me.
I do think like I still wasn't 100% like I think they did a lot of good things. I still wasn't 100% sure what was going to happen at trial with the mom called her friend. My thought was
Yeah.
she was turning over the hammer, and then the prosecutor was
Yeah,
going to
because
be
she
like,
said, I
"Oh,
need
but
you
what
to do
about
something.
this?" Yeah, and then and so I was like, "Wait," but then she didn't, and then she said she would take the stand. I'm like, "Oh, she's going to go on the stand and say, 'Fuck you, he's the murderer. They found a hammer. This is the thing, the whole thing that was going to happen." But then she goes, "I promise I'll tell the truth." And she goes, "Well, what's your truth?" And she's like, "I say you can't do it." And I thought, "Oh, okay." And then she gets on the stand, she says that. I'm like, "Oh, well, wait. Okay. So everything's going to
And
plan."
she, at first, like, you're like, wow, she's really helping him out because she's got credibility
Right.
and
And
she's
you could
speaking
tell
well.
she's
And then,
well, because the thing she says in the scene before that is she asks the kid's like, "Are we going to be together as a family?" And she's like, "What do you want?" And he's like, "I don't know." And she goes, "All I want is what's best for you." And then so you try to think, what does the mom think is best for the kid? Is it that he does get off and they're all a family again? Or is it that he's not in his life? So I'm still in my head going back and forth. I still don't know who did it at this point because whether he gets convicted or not doesn't really say who did it. The moment that I know for sure that he did it was after she gets off the stand and walks away. And he's like, "What the fuck is going on?" Because he's like, "I wouldn't do that." He gets up and he has an outburst. He sits
he
down,
starts screaming. Yeah, yeah.
and then he asks like, "What do we do now?" And she
She just
goes,
walks out.
"Well, the lawyer's like, we're fucked." And he goes, "Well, why the fuck am I paying you?" And she goes, "You screwed yourself. You should have hidden the weapon to begin with. Why the fuck didn't you get rid of the weapon?" And at first, I was thinking, oh, like once we found it, I said you should get rid of it. But then I realized she meant, like, why didn't you get rid of the fucking murder weapon after you killed her? Like, the lawyer knew. The lawyer said, I think what she was saying is, like, why didn't you get rid of the weapon? She meant, why the fuck did you hold on to it? Why didn't you throw it in a fucking river or ocean and it would have been done?
Right.
But you had to fucking bring it back. And that's what caused doubt in your wife's mind. And that's what made this fucking happen. And then I thought, oh, fuck. And then I was like, wait a minute, it was him. And then when he sends the text saying, "Hey, buddy, want to get breakfast?" I thought, oh, this cannot be good.
Oh, no.
At that moment, I was like, so I think the thing that it did is that it caused doubt throughout the whole episode to where you weren't really sure. And I think instead of, I understand that there was no death at the end, which wasn't as satisfying, but they built up so much anxiety and like stress and all that stuff of, oh no, he's going to kill his kid. And then all the events leading up to
like
it.
6 hours and only one person died.
But it was, yeah, it seemed to be enough.
That ratio doesn't sit well.
The drama and the leading up to that ending was enough for me in those last 15, 20 minutes that I feel, okay, that was good enough.
That's
yeah.
what I say.
So as a whole, how would you,
I'll give it like
rate the whole series?
A reluctant thumb sideways. Like, I liked it, but I didn't love it.
Okay. Now,
Like,
have you?
It was done and filmed and directed, and everything was done really well. I'm telling you, just the last couple minutes really is just what.
Yeah.
Like, because then why bring in the mom, like, saying he is like this sociopath, you know, for her, like, why did she need to know that if they weren't going to use that, like, that kid has no feeling he's going to kill the kid, and that's like what was setting you up for
well
it.
And what makes,
I just wanted the kid to die. Okay.
Once I realized Like, how is this? Is he going to murder the wife? Because I'm like, okay, so she told her friend about the phone call. Well, she had told her friend about the phone call before, but I think she just said, hey, I need you to tell your friend about this phone call with his mom. And number one, only
Yeah.
two people knew that that phone call existed was the mom and the husband or the wife, like his mom and the wife. So it's not like anyone else could have said it.
Oh,
So
and
he
you
had
see
to
how
have known.
pissed off he was when she was like, I
Right.
talked to her like
And
recently.
number
He was
two,
completely floored.
it wasn't a recorded phone call, and the mom's in another country. They can't subpoena her. So it's all going to be the wife's word. At any point, the wife could have said, oh, no, she said it was fine. She didn't have to tell the truth. She could have easily just went up there and said, oh,
But
yeah, the
what would
mom
be
said
better
that.
for her kid?
Right. So then that's what I'm like, okay, so that's what's going to be the thing. But it still didn't mean that he did it. It just means that he's going to be locked up because he's a shitty person. And then so as it went on, I was just like, I still don't know. And then, especially when they brought the Spanish's kid up there,
Yeah,
I
that was
I
sad.
thought at that point that oh, it was the kid, it was the other kid, and she's going to break him on the stand.
I thought, yeah, they were going to show him walking in when he discovered her as if he just
Right,
finished bludgeoning her. And I'm like, that's
right.
impossible. Like every time they showed something, I'm like, or did this happen? Like I was giving all my different theories.
So they did everything right except I don't. Yeah, I guess people want a happy ending. I know you
No,
don't. You want to say no. You want like
I just feel
death.
like if you want to go for it all, just no. I don't want death. I want a good story. Okay.
Okay, but that I thought it was a good
And a
story.
good story would have
Ends
been
in death. Yeah, the ultimate
the
sacrifice. The
ultimate
ultimate.
revenge, and the
Yeah,
ultimate thing he can do to get back at her is to just wipe out the kid. So I would say
they definitely
A
led you to
minus.
believe that's what was going to happen. Okay, I'll give it an A minus. I thought
Yeah,
it was
and I
really good.
wanted that. I
Now
mean, I
you
wouldn't
said you
even
saw
say
the.
B plus because it was well.
You said that you did see The Outsider as well, right?
Hmm.
That's Outsider's one with that the black lady who is kind of telepathic in a way, or kind of a little weird, but she was
Hmm.
okay. And do you remember any of that? The show? I mean,
Mostly not.
okay, because that was the Jason
I know
Bateman
Jason
directed one
Bateman was in it,
for like the first two episodes or whatever, and it
right?
was
So
and he directed it too and
yeah,
starred in it. That one was extremely good. I like that one a lot.
I liked it too. No, I did. It got like that supernatural like
Natural, yeah, which is a little
twist
weird,
at the
but
end.
yeah,
Gets a little weird, yeah. But also, since we're talking about that, on
yeah.
HBO Max, The Flight Attendant. That's good.
Is it
That is
okay?
very good. And it's Kaylee Cuoco from The Big Bang, and
Okay,
she's the
I'm
flight
all. That's all you
attendant.
needed to say. All you have to say is
And
Kaylee
she's
Cuoco.
wild.
Well, I will say this. This is something that
She's
bothers
got a
me.
really nice body. Like I won't say anything bad about
Oh
her. I
yeah,
like her.
no, I I never really watched The Big Bang Theory until I did, and then I
Neither
saw
did I.
her,
Like I watched
and
a
that was
few
the reason I.
episodes.
Yeah, she was the reason I watched it. Like, if I had like a top five celebrity wish list to do dirty things to, she would have definitely been on it in the prime. Although afterwards, and as she's aged a bit, there's something about Hollywood where they age faster than normal. And I don't know if she has a
Mm.
kid that could explain it, or if she does the thing where once you hit like 26, you have to start getting plastic surgery, and then all of a sudden you start looking horrible. But she doesn't look as good now as she did 5 years ago, and it's a dramatic difference. I think.
She looks
I think
good
her
on the
body's still
show.
fine. Okay, I'm just talking about interviews
I
off
and
of
I'm really
whatever.
critical because of the whole undoing, like the
Oh,
Italian girl. I was like,
the fat flanks and sloppy tits. I know. In fact,
Yes.
when I was
And
I watched the first 2 episodes of The Undoing with my niece and her husband downstairs because I wanted them to watch it.
and did you
Because I
say
knew
that?
if I could get them through like the first episode or two, they would be into it, and then they could finish it so we could talk about it. And that was happening. Of course, this is my niece that is very proper and conservative and innocent. And it was at nighttime. It was like 9, 10 o'clock at night, and we're watching it. And she pauses it. She jumps up and she pulls down the shades because she's like, if the neighbors look through the window, they're going to see us watching porn. And I'm like, okay, it's not porn. It's not that big of a deal. She goes, I don't want my neighbors to think I'm watching porn. So, and then we start watching it. And then I just started laughing. And she goes, what? I'm like, I'm just thinking of what my friend Michelle said about her. And she said, what? She said she had fat flanks and sloppy tits. And she started cracking up and she goes, oh, I love Michelle. That's what she said right off the bat. She goes, I think I'd really get along with her. So she's like, your
Did
friend
she
is
agree?
awesome. Oh, no,
Did
I
she
probably.
agree that she had fat planks?
Oh.
All right. Well, there's one fan.
Yeah.
For
So,
half of us.
yeah. Not as much me, more you. But yeah, that tends to be how it works anyway.
Right on. All right.
Yeah.
That's just how I felt. I mean, I thought
No, I get it.
she was
I
a
get
little.
Hey, I'm overcritical on a
meaty.
lot of celebrities as well. But then I guess it depends on my mood. Sometimes I'm more forgiving because of a frisky mood I'm in, maybe like puts blinders on me, or it's. But most of the time, when people go, "Oh, she's gorgeous," I'm like, "Ew, gross." I don't like Barbie hot. Like, I think Pam Anderson is gross. I never thought she was attractive. I never thought Cindy Crawford was attractive. During those times when those were like the hot two, like Cindy Crawford and Kathy Ireland had a man face. She had like that chiseled man jaw. Like all these like supermodels and people like that, I never thought were attractive. I like the girl next door.
You like that slutty-lipped Susanna Hoff.
Oh, yes, I do. I'd walk like an Egyptian. There's that one moment in that video where her eyes go back and forth. She's like, walk like an Egyptian. I'm like, oh, that does it. I'm good. Yeah. Well, not Kim Kardashian lipped, but yeah. Yeah, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Meg Ryan before the surgeries. Because
Hewitt's
she had
got
that
big
smile.
cans.
Oh yeah, but trust me, I'm not faulting her for that. It's the
But then
smile.
then she
face.
grew into them as she got older.
Yeah, and then she
Yeah?
started playing all the
Hewitt?
slutty roles. Like
She got a little busty.
Oh yeah. Why can't I think
She
of her
started
name?
getting a little heavy in seat.
Oh, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a heavy seat. Who's
No,
the
really?
one from My Cousin Vinny? Marissa Tomei. I liked Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei.
And then, of course, Penelope Cruz. Now, Penelope Cruz doesn't have like a hot body. That's her best friend, which is Selma Hayek. Selma Hayek has a body made for like a carnival. Like it's just made to ride. Like that. Selma Hayek has the traditionally hot, and I still think she's attractive. But there's something about the voice and the face of Penelope Cruz, that smile, especially Vanilla Sky, that makes you just melt. And those were always my weaknesses. The girl next door look that's kind of innocent, and she has that smile that you're like, oh, if I could
some sort of Spanish.
Her, it's some sort of Spanish usually helps. But yes. And which makes me think why I gave a pass to this woman, because she was an Italian or some sort of Spanish with this one. So that's why I probably look past the fat flanks and sloppy tits. But I don't know.
I didn't like her hair. I mean, everything about it.
Hair can easily be taken care of. I mean,
I know, but it didn't help her.
No, that's true.
But anyway.
It is true.
So
I would have.
Yeah.
So when they did show the scene of her getting beaten to death or
Oh,
whatever, and like everything
that's
happening,
rough.
I do understand his frustration because she's like, I'll still
Right.
stick around your
'Cause she
wife.
was
You're
being
never going to
anticipated.
leave me. She was
Right.
antagonizing him, and I get it, but it didn't make sense that he would go that far. Like, I would see
Well,
him
she's got crazy
hit
eyes.
her.
Remember, he was saying she was like a stalker. We don't know.
Well, it did seem
She was
like
like,
it. She
you will,
painted pictures.
like
She
trying to
got
like
close.
mesmerize him.
Well, she did paint that picture. She did say, "Oh, my son and your son will make really good friends, and I think your wife's the nicest person. We can be friends." Like it was
That
obvious she was a stalker, right? So I get that part. I just think that I'd rough her up and like slam her head in the wall a couple times, like you said, and then you're like, "That's fucking it," and then you walk away. I didn't think it would be the hit, and even when he hit her once, it didn't look like she was gone until he just kept going and going and going. I just didn't think like at that point I
well,
would have
okay, but
that
she
still be a
came at
depression.
him with the hammer.
Yeah, that is true. He goes, "Oh, are you fucking kidding me?" And then yeah,
So I mean, yeah, I definitely would have given her at least one good one. Be like, bitch, don't come at me with this. But and that would have given her a pretty good headache and maybe a little bit of a skull fracture. But when he kept going, oh, it was so fucking like just you like heard it mushing. Some sort of mashing sound, and that's where I was like, ooh, I
I
can't see
think
this.
I think he thought he could still cover it up because if he thought to himself, "All right, she came at me with a hammer, I stopped it, and then I hit her," I could still get away with self defense if I just hit myself in the head with the
Right.
hammer
If
once.
he's right.
Right. And then if I just hit her once or twice with it and kill her, then at least, I might be able to get away with self defense and this could be like not as big of a deal. But he thought, oh, I'm still going to lose my family if it comes out that I had an affair. So maybe I should.
I'll just kill her.
Right. And then I could get away with it somehow. But it's very
Whatever.
obvious that the police would figure it out. I mean, I don't know.
I was gonna tell you two things that I saw. One, I saw on MSN, because we talked about this before. It was
Yes.
a private island in the middle of a Norwegian fjord,
Ooh,
FJORD,
I love
that used
fjords.
to be
Yes.
a low security prison. It's for
Oh
sale for
shit.
3.2 million. It's got
Okay.
30 buildings, hiking trails, potential to grow your own organic produce. It used to be called
AKA
Devil's
weed.
Island, a plus, maybe something for the cult. Devil's Island.
Yes. Oh,
Uh,
definitely.
it used to be Devil's Island boarding school because they used to send naughty boys there. And it was also previously, I guess it's Ulvsnes Island,
Okay.
Ulvsnes, Ulvsnes.
Ulvness.
So I thought that was
Ulvness.
pretty
Yeah.
reasonable because how
23
much
for
was
the
the
one
one
in
we were
it.
talking about in Italy?
23. The worst part is
This
that
one's 3.2.
when I first found that like 3 years ago, and the story was about a year old, it was only at
Uh-huh.
like 4.5 million, and then now it's 23. Apparently, I talked about it and
Well,
word
this
got
one's a
out and
steal.
everyone started bidding on it. Yeah.
3.2
And there's
in a
a boarding
fjord.
school and prison on it. That's not
No,
bad. That
no.
could.
Used to be a low security prison, and it also used to be the site of a boarding school for naughty boys. So it's
I
already
get
got
it.
the vibe. It could be the
Right.
Colt Island,
And it's a
the
place where
Devil's Fjord,
I can lock up women there that I kidnap as well.
the Devil's Fjord. We could call it.
You're right. Yeah.
Take me to Devil's Fjord, please. I want a one-way ferry ride to
And
Devil's
Eric
Fjord.
from True Blood is from there,
Right. So,
which is good.
um,
Right, yeah.
I like it. I like the word. I like everything
Yes.
about it. Its potential, its price, the fact that the buildings don't sound like as they're in much need of rep repair, like the ones in
They're
Italy.
not
Those
in
ones
ill
are like
repair or
busted in
disrepair.
disrepair. Yeah.
Just yeah. Speaking
Um.
of words that we
So
like, today
yeah.
is bam, cacophony, which is like
Which is
I believe it's a big surrounding sound, like a huge sound of lots of big noises, like a cacophony
tis
of yells
correct.
and screams. But I don't know the way to. I can't put it into
However, it is
words.
more of a harsh mixture of sounds.
Yes. Okay. That's why I said a
Like
cacophony of screams.
yeah.
Yeah. Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Yeah.
Like that.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
So,
Perfect.
yeah. So that's the word. I love it. I love it. I love it. But the sub word, I guess, that I didn't even plan on is the fjord.
I do like Fjord or Fjord, if you will.
That's how you would say it, right?
Yeah.
Fjord or
Or
fjord.
Fjord. I mean, Fjord sounds cool, but I think it's funnier
It's
just
like
calling it
if
Fjord. Devil's Fjord.
it means inlet, so we could be like
Yeah.
the devil's
Which
inlet.
is like the vagina. Perfect. This is like
sail,
now I have to
sail
buy
right
it.
into the fjord.
Bitcoin's got to
Now
go
it's
crazy
all
after
coming
I have.
together.
Yeah, I'll buy the vagina or the devil's inlet. I do like that. I tell you what, when I do
I love it.
travel,
So
I'm gonna go there and try to take a boat there, and then take video of the place
by the fjord,
of the devil's fjord.
while you can bang the inlet with your like this.
Like, look, I'm inside, I'm outside. I'm inside, I'm outside.
Yeah, and
Do the hokey
if you have the
pokey.
bit, if you have the Bitmoji dolls, that would be fun too.
Yeah, exactly.
They could be in on the island gang where you're
I do
actually
like the
raping
idea
the
of owning an
island.
island. I do like the idea of owning an island. I do like the idea of it already being built up to where there's like electricity that is already run to it. And
And it's a
I'm
bit
sure,
notoriously dark.
yeah, the buildings are already there that maybe just need some renovations, but not a big deal. And I do like, as long as there's electricity, you can get internet. Because even if they can't run a wire there, now with Elon Musk and
Satellite.
Starlink, yeah, you can do the satellite things, which is good enough. Um, so that's really,
And
it makes
fjord.
me happy. Yeah, and it's a fjord. And it's going to be cold as
A
shit there
fjord
like
fjord.
half the year, but otherwise it's fine.
We'll have state of the art heating.
Done.
Our driveways will heat so that way we don't even have to shovel. It'll just melt.
That I do like. That's smart thinking. I
I've
like
seen
that.
that. I've
Yeah.
seen that in driveways where they lay
If you're going to
the
lay new concrete down,
coils
you might as well
underneath
have
and when
this
it
stuff inside of it. Yeah.
right.
Makes
So
sense.
that's what I say.
My
Our
brother
list of
has that.
improvements.
My brother has that underneath his floor in his living room and kitchen, the heated floor. So, like in the wintertime, you can walk around barefoot and it's fine.
It's
Like it's not.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. I want it in the bathroom, but it's too much of a pain in the ass to do because we live
Inside of
here.
a building. Yeah, right. And then you wouldn't have a bathroom for like months.
Like the
Yeah.
right, I know. I mean, although I have some friends that are been away for months from the COVID, so but I don't wouldn't want to be away
Yeah.
from my apartment. I would have it should have been done before we moved in,
Right.
had I known. I had not
Right.
experienced it at that point.
Didn't know the technology existed. Yeah.
I had no idea, but when I did discover it, it's like a little bit of overwhelming of the senses when you're stepping on a tile floor and it's not cool. When your surroundings
Yes.
are cool,
Yeah.
like, oh, I could dig this.
Yeah.
Like this is all right.
It's definitely a
It's a
pleasant
comfort.
surprise.
It's comforting.
Yes.
So I like it. That'll be the basis of the fjord. Heated underfloors, under
Yes.
fjord.
If we have to melt a glacier or two to make it work, whatever. Environment be damned as long as our comfort is priority. I like it.
Hey, we got to be self-sustainable somehow. So there's got to be like some
Right.
collateral damage.
And it's remote enough that authorities really won't give us any problems, which is a
I mean,
plus.
not if we don't give them reason, right?
Oh, if they found out what was going on in the cult, they would have plenty of
Well,
reason.
I'm saying if we keep to ourselves,
Right, exactly.
then no one will know.
Right.
So there will be no
And
videos. There
and
will
people
be
can't really
no
escape to
channel.
tell and people can't escape to tell the world if it's on an island, right? Because the waters will be
Right,
too cold, they'll
right.
die if they're trying to swim back. So we'll just
And
need
here's
like a
another thing.
private helicopter for us. Yeah.
Cell phone jammers. So that way you want to try and get on the internet?
Yeah.
Don't think so.
Yeah. I like it.
So
Or just a
we
really
could
good
save
Wi-Fi password.
save
Yeah.
our reputation.
Yeah.
Eh, I
Good
liked
enough.
being able to be like, oh, you just checked it? Check again.
Yeah.
What's it say now?
No bars. I'm sorry.
Those are just I must be taking them all. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about
I
cult
shall.
names, cult
Okay.
cell tower jammers, and heated flooring.
Of course. I like how you're
The
saying it like
heated
you're writing it
underfloor.
down.
You got to have your
Requirements for the cult, cell phone jammers,
heated.
and heated flooring. We're going to be the most thought through and prepared cult of all time because they just haphazardly put this shit together.
Right.
They never
We're
think.
gonna
I've
have
never
like,
seen one that had thought of cell phone jammers and heated flooring. Yeah,
and they didn't have a notebook.
right. Which we
Um,
needed like a very big vault safe to put the notebook in, so the police can
but
never
worst
get in it,
case, we can burn
like
it.
a hidden room.
It's not like
Yeah,
online where someone could, get a copy of it or anything. So we
true.
have easy access. Plus, I would think we'd have our own police force, so we should be okay.
True. And I think like Scientology does. Yeah.
Yeah, like we'd have our own enforcers. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry
Perfect.
about it,
We would
So
keep the
I
notebook
like it.
inside of like a panic room almost. And then there would be like an emergency button that if you hit it, the panic room just goes to flames.
Yeah.
And then once it's all in flames, then it puts itself out. And then it's good.
Flaming panic.
Perfect.
Can you imagine? Someone sees these notes and like, what's a fjord?
It's the
Why is
ramblings
the
of a
underfjord?
madman. The ramblings
Why
of
is
a
it an
madman.
underfjord? And why does it need to be warm?
Yeah.
Well,
They
I think
just don't get it.
this is like a lot.
Yeah.
This is a lot,
No, this
though.
is good.
I mean, as far as coming together, we still
Yeah.
haven't really come up with a name, but I'm digging on the island. The
Yeah.
name
The
of
island makes a lot of sense. It's the seclusion
so
to the outside world and the privacy of just doing what we do without the interference.
of ownership.
Right. I like it. All right.
So, with
Well,
that
Ray,
note,
mine and Ray investments have to kind of get going in the next 5 years so we can afford an island. If we kind of pool it together, we could probably
well, and
figure
let's hope
something out.
this stays like a very well kept secret, so the prices don't jack up. So if we have any investors
Well, COVID probably
interested,
COVID probably
for-
helps and has probably dropped prices quite a bit right now. We just have to hope that things don't go
I would
crazy
hope.
between now and then.
Oh wait, and one last thing I saw this yesterday. It was really, really funny. On BuzzFeed, did you read about like Ice-T's Twitter about his father-in-law at
Oh,
all?
the person. I was like, did Nestle have a Twitter account? No. No. What happened to Ice-T?
He like has this picture, I guess, of his father-in-law that had like the oxygen mask, and he writes, "Father-in-law was a no masker, got COVID, pneumonia, both lungs, 40 days ICU, close to death, on oxygen indefinitely. Oh, he's a believer now." Hashtag
Oh,
COVID is not a game. So
wow.
it
He's like,
it
ha
got
ha.
like he's like, it's not a joke, like, yeah, he's a believer now, and people like had mixed reactions with it. And like one particular like douchebag was like, why would you say something that's your family you're talking about? And his reply, he's like, clown ass. If I'm willing to use a family member that I love as an example of someone coming close to death from a virus that I assume you think is fake, I'm trying to warn people, then it must be serious to me, Brandon. You've got a lot of nerve. So the funniest part about that was clown ass.
Clown ass is good.
But clown ass is awesome, but I like, oh, he's a believer now. I get it. It makes sense.
I'm on board.
And
I agree.
yeah, so I thought that was a funny tidbit to end today.
Yes. Okay. Well, I know you've got
All right.
things to
Well,
go to, so
yeah,
we will
I
be
have
done for the
to go
day.
outside.
Yeah, I know. Well, at least you don't have to walk out into the winter wonderland that is my outside at the moment.
But you're snowed in.
Yeah, I mean, normal people are still going outside. I'm snowed in because I can't be bothered with dealing with it. So, yeah, I'm
No,
snowed in.
me too. I don't want to. All right. Well, have fun with your snow.
I will. I will.
I'm gonna have to walk my ass to my appointments because I don't do the subway. So
And
check your
then
rings today.
yeah, I know. I got a little thing saying, oh, by the way, we're going to give you a challenge for
Are you
December.
alive?
Check your December. Well, because I haven't worn it for like a week and
Stand.
a half because I had this rash on my arm that's mostly gone away
It's like
because of the
stand
strap.
3 times in a day, and we'll start there.
Yeah. I think I'm going to be going on a liquid diet for a while. Just doing
Before our trip?
water. Huh? No, before.
Before. All right.
Yeah, so I'm going to do water and coffee. I'm not going to just do straight water. I'm going to have like flavored water, coffee, Bailey's, but I'm just not going to be eating. At least I'm going to try
Okay.
it for
Liquid, if
like
you will.
a week or two, and see if I can get through that to lose a little bit of weight before the trip. And then after the trip and after
We'll
Christmas,
accept you as you are.
I know, but then I think after
I'll make fun of you
Christmas,
either way, so it doesn't matter.
oh, I'm gonna eat like a fucking pig when I'm on vacation, and then after Christmas, or during Christmas, I'll do the same. But starting the 26th, if I'm gonna be leaving in Marchish or April, whatever, when I can get
Yeah, you're
a
gonna have to
couple of
get
jabs,
serious.
I've got like 3 months to literally lose I need to lose like 20 pounds a month to get to
And then
my
also,
fighting weight.
while we're there, we'll do the death pool, the celebrity death pool.
Oh yes, that
Perhaps
should
a
be on
live
a
draft,
podcast.
I don't know.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely need to write that down because we can't forget about that.
Start
We should do that on
compiling
the
your
podcast.
list.
Yes, I like it.
All right. Done.
Nice.
All
All
right.
right.
So
More
I
fun
will
stuff.
speak it to you later.
All right. Sounds good.